Hi, my name is Lena Mayfleet. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I'm a senior in high school. Life hasn't always been so easy for me. I never got to experience the things I get today. I am grateful for everything I have. My goal for after I leave high school is to make a difference in the world. I stood there nervously while everyone was staring at me like they wanted me to mess up. Great job, Lena, my teacher, Miss Knight, said as I walked to my chair in the back row next to the kids who do nothing but talk about how good their makeup looks today. I don't wear makeup, so I have no idea what they're talking about. Today is the last day of this hellhole we call high school, and we had to present our senior speech. I snapped out of my daydream and realized that school was done. I grabbed my bag that my grandma gave to me before she passed away. She was the only person I had. My parents passed away when I was 4. Before I could get adopted, my city was under attack from the Syrian civil war, so I had to live in a refugee camp. No one knows that, and I hate talking about it. I hated living there, but luckily a wonderful couple adopted me when I was 15, which is very rare in refugee camps. I walked through the halls to find my 3 only friends who are basically my sisters. As I suspected, Mia, Addie, and Lisbeth were signing people's yearbooks. My sister Poppy is still in a refugee camp and has been living in an orphanage. My adoptive parents tried to adopt both of us, but it didn't work out and they have yet to tell me the reason. I didn't want to leave my sister, but I have no choice. Our father, who passed away, was half Syrian and half Spanish. He was born in America, and that's where he met my mother. My mother was Italian and Irish. When they died in a car crash, our grandmother took us in, which meant we had to move to Syria. We lived a great life until it all started. When the Syrian revolution started, we were moved to refugee camps. It wasn't safe staying in our homes. After 2 months of living in a refugee camp, my grandma died of cancer. She told no one about the cancer, and it only got worse. My sister and I were put in an orphanage in the refugee camp. 3 years later, I was adopted and had to leave my sister behind. It's been 5 weeks. Graduation was okay, but I was just glad to be leaving high school. Yeah, everything is good. Today was my last day of class and Mom, I'm gonna have to call you back. We were officially done with our first year of college and everything was going great. I was sitting in the park taking in the hot sun and gentle breeze when Addie called me. Hey, what's up?
Hey, get home soon. We want to show you something.
Okay.
Okay, see you when you get here.
I was very confused, but I got up and packed up my backpack and drove home. My bones ached as I made my way up 2 flights of stairs to get to our apartment.
I'm home. Hey, we're in the living room.
I set my purse on the table as I made my way to the living room. Hey, what did you guys want to show me? I said, hoping I would get an answer soon.
Well, today in history, watch this video, and I think you guys need to see it.
So you haven't seen it yet?
No, Rosara wires to watch it at the same time.
The lights got dim and I sunk into the couch as the TV turned on. My face was blank and I felt nothing. Tears were silently rolling down my face. The video was on Syrian refugees, my home that is getting bombed, and a war going on between our own people again. I haven't seen this video before, but I'm glad I'm seeing it. Although the only person that knows I lived in a refugee camp is Lisbeth. Lisbeth looked at me with sadness in her eyes. I need to open up to them and tell them about my past, I thought. The video ended and everyone had tears in their eyes. Mia turned on the lights and we sat and just looked at each other.
We need to do something.
What are we gonna do?
This isn't right. Good people are being treated like animals. I have something I need to tell you guys, I said with tears running down my red, swollen cheeks.
You know you can tell us anything.
Mia said, hugging me. I looked at Lisbeth and she nodded and smiled, making me feel a little better. Where do I start? After telling them about me in the refugee camp, we were all crying hot messes. Since I was little, I've always had a fire in me to do something extraordinary that could change the way the world thought. I had an idea that I think could change the world for the better. I think I know what we can do.
What is it?
Well, right now, the refugees are suffering. The U.S. isn't doing anything to help them. What if we start a movement to save the refugees?
I love it. We could create a group of people who share the same desire to help them, and we could start protesting.
We talked about it for hours and planned and shared ideas of ways we can save them. The things we learned in the video broke our hearts. The Syrian people were at a high peak of violence, with the Syrian civil war destroying their country. The US was not helping the refugees like other countries because they see some refugees as threats and dangerous terrorists. Countries such as Turkey took in about 1.9 million refugees, and Lebanon took in about 1.1 million refugees. They were the top two countries that helped Syrian refugees, while the US took in only about 1,500 refugees and now refused to take in any. The Syrian people in the cities, the refugees in camps, and people whose houses and neighborhoods were being bombed were suffering and were not able to do anything about it. What broke me the most was I didn't even know why my own people were going through again. We came up with our two goals that we had for our movement. One, to get the message out about Syrian refugees and how they're being treated, and two, to get the US to allow more Syrian refugees into America legally. Sounds big, but we have faith and we know that if our hearts are in it, we're going to achieve anything. All I could think about is saving my people and especially my sister. The first thing we need to do is get the word out. We prepared speeches and presentations to do at our school and to other colleges. We made posters and flyers and set up social media accounts. The Syrian refugee movement was huge and we had over 50,000 people supporting us, and the number grows every day. But just getting the word out wasn't enough. We decided to gather 50 people who joined our movement to occupy Friends of Georgetown Waterfront Park to make a statement to the US government. Our plan was to occupy the park and march to the White House every day in protest for the Syrian refugee rights. We have to show the government that we're all equal and the refugees deserve to have a better life.
Please stand up and go into the canopy. To your right will be a paper that says first poster here.